You become what you think. This is not a quote. This is not poetry. This is a law, a silent law that has been shaping your life every single day, whether you noticed it or not. Your life today is not a coincidence. It is not an accident. It is not bad luck. It is the result of the thoughts you have allowed to live inside your mind. Every thought you repeat becomes a belief. Every belief becomes an action. Every action becomes a habit. And habits quietly build your destiny. Most people try to change their life by changing their circumstances. They change cities. They change jobs. They change relationships. But they never change their thinking. And because of that, the same life repeats itself in a different form. You can escape a place. You can escape people. But you cannot escape the mind you carry with you. The mind is the root. Life is the fruit. If the root is weak, the fruit will be bitter. Your mind does not know truth. It only knows repetition. It does not know what is real or false. It only knows what you consistently tell it. If you constantly think you are behind in life, your mind will create proof. If you constantly think you are unlucky, your mind will find reasons. If you constantly think you are powerless, your mind will make you hesitant, fearful, and small. But if you think with strength, with calm, with discipline, your mind will begin to align your actions with those thoughts. This is why two people can live in the same world, face the same struggles, and end up with completely different lives. One person believes life is against them. The other believes life is teaching them. One becomes bitter. The other becomes wiser. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are instructions. Every time you repeat a thought, you are programming yourself. And the most dangerous thoughts are the ones you repeat silently. The thoughts you never speak out loud. The thoughts you accept as, just the way I am. Those thoughts are shaping your identity. You do not act based on motivation. You act based on identity. You don't wake up every day and decide who you are. You wake up and express who you believe you are. If you believe you are lazy, you will act lazy. If you believe you are disciplined, you will act disciplined. If you believe you are weak, you will avoid challenges. If you believe you are strong, you will face them. Life does not respond to wishes. It responds to self-image. That is why some people rise quietly while others stay stuck loudly. Your inner conversation is creating your outer reality. Listen carefully to how you talk to yourself when no one is around. Do you encourage yourself, or do you insult yourself? Do you speak with patience, or with pressure? Do you speak like a leader, or like a victim? Because your mind is always listening, and it believes you. The mind becomes what it consumes. If you feed it fear, it produces anxiety. If you feed it comparison, it produces insecurity. If you feed it discipline, it produces strength. If you feed it clarity, it produces calm. You cannot think negatively and live positively. You cannot constantly doubt yourself and expect confidence to appear. You cannot keep imagining failure and suddenly succeed. Your dominant thoughts create your dominant reality. And here is the truth that changes everything. You are not your thoughts. You are the one choosing them. Most people think thoughts happen automatically. They don't. Thoughts become automatic only when you stop questioning them. Awareness is power. The moment you become aware of your thinking, you regain control. You don't need to fight your thoughts. You need to replace them. The mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts at the same time. If you replace fear with focus, fear fades. If you replace doubt with action, doubt weakens. If you replace chaos with structure, peace emerges. You don't need positive thinking all the time. You need accurate thinking. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I'm learning. Instead of saying, it's impossible, say, it's unfamiliar. Instead of saying, I always fail, say, I'm improving. Language shapes thought. Thought shapes behavior. Behavior shapes destiny. Your future is being decided by what you repeatedly think today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Every small thought is a vote for the person you are becoming. And here's the hard truth most people avoid. No one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is coming. No magical motivation will arrive. Your life will only change when your thinking changes. Growth is not loud. It is silent, disciplined, and uncomfortable. It happens when you choose a better thought instead of an easy one. It happens when you delay pleasure and choose progress. It happens when you stop blaming circumstances and start managing your mind. The strongest people are not the loudest. They are the most mentally controlled. They don't react to everything. They don't chase validation. They don't panic at delays. They think long-term. They move calmly. They act intentionally. And that mindset compounds. Small disciplined thoughts practiced daily become unshakable confidence over time. You don't change your life in one day. You change it by changing what you think every day. If you want peace, start thinking peacefully. If you want discipline, start thinking like a disciplined person. If you want success, start thinking in systems, not emotions. If you want freedom, start thinking independently. You cannot rise above the level of your thinking. Your mind is either your prison or your path. Choose carefully, because in the end, you will not become what you hope for. You will become what you think, what you believe, and what you repeat. As you think, so you become. And the moment you change your thoughts, your life begins to change with them. Everything in your life begins with a thought. Not action, not money, not opportunity. A thought. Before you ever speak, you think. Before you ever act, you imagine. Before you ever become, you believe. And whether you know it or not, you are living inside the result of your past thinking. Your present life is a mirror. It does not show you what you want. It shows you what you repeatedly accepted as true. Most people try to fight the mirror. They complain about what they see. They blame the reflection. But the mirror is innocent. If you want a different image, you must change what stands in front of it. That is how life works. The outer world is shaped by the inner world. If your inner world is chaotic, your outer world will feel unstable. If your inner world is fearful, your outer world will feel threatening. If your inner world is disciplined, your outer world will slowly organize itself. This is why mastering your thoughts is more powerful than controlling circumstances. Circumstances change slowly. Thoughts change instantly. But most people are afraid of their own thoughts. They avoid silence. They avoid stillness, because silence forces them to hear the truth of what they are thinking. And that truth is uncomfortable. So they distract themselves with noise, with scrolling, with entertainment, with comparison. But distraction does not erase thoughts. It only delays their consequences. Every thought you ignore still leaves a mark. Every belief you never question still controls your behavior. Your mind is always working, even when you are not aware. It is building habits, reinforcing identity, strengthening patterns, and patterns decide your future. This is why change feels hard. You are not fighting the world. You are fighting years of mental conditioning. Thoughts repeated long enough become automatic. They feel like facts. They feel like reality. But they are not. They are habits of the mind. And habits can be changed. But only with awareness and patience. You cannot force a new life with an old mindset. You cannot expect confidence while constantly thinking in fear. You cannot expect peace while feeding your mind chaos. You cannot expect success while rehearsing failure in your imagination. Your imagination is not entertainment. It is rehearsal. What you imagine repeatedly, you practice internally. And what you practice internally, you eventually express externally. This is why athletes visualize. This is why leaders think ahead. This is why disciplined people plan. They are not waiting for motivation. They are aligning their mind first. Because when the mind is aligned, action becomes natural. Most people wait to feel ready. But readiness is a thought. You don't feel ready first. You think ready first. Strength begins as a decision. Calm begins as a perspective. Confidence begins as self-talk. Your inner dialogue is either lifting you or slowly breaking you down. Pay attention to the words you use internally. Words like always, never, can't, too late. These are not descriptions. They are limitations. The mind believes in patterns, not exceptions. If you tell yourself, I always fail, your mind stops looking for solutions. If you tell yourself, it's too late, your mind stops imagining growth. If you tell yourself, this is who I am, your mind stops evolving. But when you change the language, you change the direction. I am learning, I am improving, I am becoming better. These are not lies, they are processes. Growth is not instant, it is cumulative. A single positive thought will not change your life, but thousands of repeated, aligned thoughts will. This is why discipline matters. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect. It is choosing thoughts that serve your future, instead of thoughts that comfort your present. Comfort keeps you the same. Discipline changes you. Your mind will resist change, not because change is bad, but because the mind prefers familiarity. Even familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar growth. That is why people stay stuck. They choose known suffering over unknown potential. But the moment you accept discomfort as part of growth, your thinking shifts. You stop asking, why is this hard, and start asking, what is this teaching me? That single shift changes everything. Because life responds to responsibility. When you take responsibility for your thoughts, you take control of your direction. You stop being a victim of moods. You stop being controlled by reactions. You stop living emotionally. Instead, you live intentionally. Intentional living is rare, and rare things are valuable. Most people live on impulse. They react, they complain, they repeat. Few people pause, think, choose. Those few people build extraordinary lives. Quietly, patiently, consistently. Not overnight, but inevitably. Your thoughts today are shaping the decisions you will make tomorrow. Your decisions tomorrow are shaping the habits you will live next year. And your habits next year are shaping the life you will call destiny. Nothing mystical, nothing magical, just cause and effect. Think weak thoughts, live a weak life. Think strong thoughts, build a strong life. Think disciplined thoughts, create disciplined results. Think chaotic thoughts, experience chaos. Life does not judge, it reflects, and the reflection is always honest. If you want a different future, start with a different internal conversation. Speak to yourself like someone you respect. Guide yourself like someone you care about. Correct yourself like someone you believe in. Because you are not broken. You are conditioned, and conditioning can be rewritten. One thought at a time. One choice at a time. One day at a time. You don't need to rush. You need to be consistent. Time will pass anyway. The only question is, who will you become while it does? As you think, so you become. Not instantly, but inevitably. And once you understand this, you stop waiting for life to change. You change first, and life follows.